This is Therapist Clubhouse, a podcast for private practice entrepreneurs. I'm Annie Schusler. This week, it's just you and me. I'm going to talk about something that's been on my mind lately. You know how you keep hearing a theme over and over again, and it finally sinks in? Well, I've been going through that about how self-care and fitness connect to being an entrepreneur. And I really resisted the hell out of this connection for years. But I've been hearing this theme too many times from people I respect to ignore it or to naysay it. Now, I was hesitant to talk about this with you because some stuff out there about fitness feels really alienating to me and to people I care about. The tyranny of thinness is incredibly alienating and damaging. The idea that bodies should look a certain way is alienating and dangerous. I'm really not into that. I don't believe fitness or self-care has to look one way. I think it's really personal and really different for you and for each person. But I decided to go ahead and talk about this because it's important to me to share what's helping me in my business and what's helping others in their businesses. So here I am talking about fitness. I've been hearing over and over from entrepreneurs who accomplish a lot that they have fitness and self-care routines that they stick to. I'm talking about routines to take care of yourself and take care of your health so that you can be who you need to be in order to run your business at a higher level. And again, I mean that in terms of what kind of self-care actually is best for you. So what if you need to be different in order to accomplish your next goals in your business? What if the missing link is not to be working harder or even investing more money in your business, but rather to be making yourself more resilient and stronger? I'll give you some examples. So Tara McMullen, the founder of Co-Commercial, has said that you need to have a morning routine that gets you ready to be who you need to be to lead your business each day. And she's taken it all the way there and has become really an athlete in the last several years. And she's running half marathons and bouldering and doing all the things. But she started just with morning walks and she increased it from there. Jeff Gunther, who was on the podcast just a little bit ago, has said that hiring a trainer and working out 4 or 5 times a week has made a big difference in leading his business. And Casey Truffaut was on the podcast a while ago talking about this when she was a guest. And she talked about getting up before the crack of dawn every day to do an intense workout before she starts running her companies. My financial guru or leader is Barry Tesler, who was a guest last year on the podcast, and she does a daily hike up a mountain near her home. So these are folks who are entrepreneurs who keep on growing and evolving their businesses and challenging themselves. There are so many different ways to do this, but these are just some examples. So what if it's true? What if the thing you have to do in order to take your business to the next level is going to be to change your self-care routine rather than starting by changing something within your business? What if that is a necessary key to helping you build the capacity to go where you want to go next? So here's my story right now. I have a really big pivot coming up in my business, and I'm going to be telling you all about it on the podcast soon. In order to get ready to make this pivot, one thing I'm doing is changing my self-care routine. I'm increasing my capacity and my energy level so that I'm going to have the resilience to follow through and do the work to make it happen. My recent routine change, from the outside at least, is not very big or dramatic. It's the right amount for me right now. And I'm going to be 100% honest, and I'm not going to inflate or exaggerate anything that I'm doing. I had already changed how I eat a few years ago so that the vast majority of what I eat is real food, and I'm avoiding the stuff that I've discovered doesn't make me feel very good. And that's made a big difference in my energy level and my day-to-day health. What I'm changing now is about movement. I used to exercise a good bit, and then I dealt with an injury a few years ago and I hadn't been doing as much. So I'm stepping into a new routine. So I'm simply getting up 20 minutes earlier every morning, drinking a glass of water while I start to brew my coffee or my tea, and then getting some exercise. On one day I go jogging, just a little bit, just a short jog. My knees don't really like to do more than a mile at this point. And then the next day I do a little bit of strength training. So I just have a small strength routine that I do on those days. And then I also walk around 10,000 steps a day by walking to work and things like that throughout the week. So I am not doing what Jeff or Tara or Casey or Barry are doing. I'm doing what's right for me right now, and I'm easing back into it. So it's only been a few weeks at this point, and I'll tell you what I'm noticing the impact is so far. So one thing I'm noticing is that I'm starting workdays feeling a little bit more energy and a little bit more mentally alert. I'm also feeling this sense that I can trust myself to do what's important. I'm showing up for myself each morning in that small way, and that's building my sense that I can trust myself to do what I need to do for my business. So it feels subtle, but it feels important. I'm going to keep you posted about this. I'm not going to give you all the gory details day to day, but I'm going to keep you posted on this. I really resisted this connection between fitness and entrepreneurship for so long. And now that I'm paying attention to it and finding a way to make it my own rather than having to follow what somebody else says about it, I'm finding my way through it. Between hearing from all of these people I talked about and so many others, I just became convinced that I need to be committed to doing this in my way. So here's what I want you to ask yourself. Here's what I'm wondering about you. First of all, who do you need to be in order to take your business to the place you want to take it? Whether that is more income, a bigger reach, stepping into more leadership, maybe starting a podcast, writing a book. Maybe it's creating an online program that can help tons of people at once. Who do you need to be in order to take your business there? And now, what if self-care is a huge key to this? What kind of self-care routine could help you be who you need to be next? I talked about movement for me being something that I'm adding, but maybe for you, it's sleep. Maybe for you, it is paying attention to what foods feel right for your body and what foods don't. Maybe there's something else it means for you than what it means for me. That's really likely. How can you show up for yourself so that you are building your capacity and your resilience? That's it for now, and I would love to know your answers to those things, whether you want to tell me over email at info@coachingwithannie.com or whether you want to go ahead and post it in the show notes. I would really love to know what this means to you. Thank you so much for listening. I mentioned earlier that there's a big pivot coming in my business. I'm going to be telling you about that soon. I would recommend, if you would like to take advantage of my free trainings, that you go over to the website and grab the ones that are useful to you right now, because some of those are going to be going away soon. So you just go over to coachingwithannie.com and click on free training, and you're going to see some options there and see what feels most useful to you. Grab it now, knowing that it might not be there in a while. I will see you next week.